Greetings! In this video I'm going to talk to you about a few different things. We're going to talk about block elements, inline elements, divs, and spans. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here starting next week you're going to be working almost exclusively with CSS files, with the CSS formatting language. Part of that is knowing how to use divs and spans, and then block level elements and inline elements. So in this video, I'm just going to show you some real basics. Next week, we're going to really delve into the details. But before we can run, we need to learn how to walk, and that's what we're going to talk about here. All right. So one of the things that we do when we're building web pages is when we have different elements, like common elements. Say, for example, we're going to do a header or the main content of a page, or do a footer, or a navigation bar, something like that. We actually group those together, okay? And we group these together using divs and spans. This is what a div looks like. It's simply just a division or a divider or whatever you want to call it, okay? What it does is it just separates this part of the page out from other pieces. So let's say, for example, in my web page I have a header, I have a division for content, and I have a division for my footer. Okay? These are three separate components of a web page that are very common. Virtually all major web pages have these divisions in them. Okay? You'll usually have a division also for navigation bars, for right content, for left content, for center content, and so on and so forth. They can really start to break out. But for your most basic web pages, we have what are just called your header, your footer, and then in the middle your content. Okay? You might also have something for navigation as well at the top, or it can be in the header. Doesn't really matter at this point. So when you're setting up a division, because it's very specific, this is a specific component of this web page. If you remember back a couple of weeks ago when we first started talking about CSS, we were talking about classes and IDs. Usually divs have IDs, usually. Okay? And you'll see that what I've done is I've just went div ID equals, and then whatever the name of this division is. It can be anything you want, but header, content, footer, those are pretty common. You'll see that a lot out on the internet. Okay. Now inside these divisions, let's say I have something like in my header, I have something like this. I just saw the movie trailer for The Hobbit that my buddy sent me, so we'll use this for an example of a movie that's getting ready to come out. So in my header, I have my page heading, which it says The Hobbit. Okay. And in my content section, let's go ahead and put in a H4 size heading, and I'm just going to put The Hobbit first impression or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here. And then I can type in a paragraph that says The Hobbit is going to be absolutely incredible. Okay, which from the trailer I just saw sounds like it might be. All right, and then in the footer I might just put in something like, I don't know, copyright 2012 Todd Jameson. Again, I'm just making stuff up. It doesn't really matter. And we'll put a copyright symbol in there too. There we go. Alright, so what I've done so far is I've used divisions to take my header at the top, and that just has the H2 size heading with The Hobbit in it. In my content division, I have two things. I have an H4 size heading, it just says The Hobbit first impression. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say The Hobbit trailer. There we go. first impression, and then I put in a paragraph that the Hobbit is going to be absolutely incredible. And then finally, in the footer section, I just put a copyright notice, and then the year, and then my name. Okay. Now, if I go and I run this, it's just going to look like any old web page. See, the thing is with divs is you don't see them rendered on the page. Okay, it's not necessary for you to see the difference as far as on the page itself. You're not going to see that this is the header, this is section right here is the content, and this is the footer. That's actually transparent to the people who are looking at it. Okay. All right. So that's a division or div. You'll hear me call it a div from now on. The next major thing in this video is what's called a span. And if you want to, in HTML and with CSS, if you want to format or structure more than one piece of text or something like that at a time, let's say, a good example would be in this paragraph where it says the Hobbit is going to be absolutely incredible. If I want to take the words absolutely incredible and the exclamation point, if I want to format all that to be, let's say, bold and red, or italic and red or something like that, if I don't use span, then I have to make each of these words or characters here bold and red. Okay, but if I use the span tag like this, I just go right before the content that I want to format, and I type in span. Okay, and then type in a closing span tag after I'm done with the text that I want to modify. And then I go back into this opening span tag, and I just type in some quick CSS rules. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break this line of text up into the second line, so I don't, when my rules, when I build them, they don't go over to the side of the page here. So let's say I'm going to set up a style, an inline style, and I'm going to say let's go red and bold here. So I'm going to say font weight is bold and the color is red. And we'll recap some of the CSS stuff next week too. So it's been a few weeks since you guys have seen it, so it might look a little bit like Greek right now, and that's okay. But I'm changing my font weight to bold, my color to red, and from where it says absolutely incredible and then the exclamation point, all of this will be red because I've started my span prior to where it says absolutely, and I've ended my span after the exclamation point. Let's go ahead and run this code, make sure that it's right, and it is. So there, the Hobbit is going to be, and then absolutely incredible. Okay. So that's how a basic span works, and you're going to use those a lot in your Java JOES assignments later on in the course when we do Java JOES 2 and 3, which will be starting next week. That's what you'll actually work on, those two assignments for the rest of the course. Okay, so that's pretty much it with this video. Again, just introducing you to divs and spans. You're going to see them extensively starting next week and throughout the rest of the course. So anyways, just take a look at, download this code, take a look at it, play with it a little bit, and see if you have any questions, just let me know. Alright, see you guys in the next video.